Kara Walsh never expected to be selected for the Galactic Embassy program, especially since she was just a gardener from Ohio, with no diplomatic experience. The recruitment officer had been vague, saying only that her genetic profile and temperament were ideal for a special assignment caring for a visiting dignitary from the Lyrian Dominion. That was 3 months ago now. Kara stood in the massive crystalline reception hall of the Lyrian royal vessel, feeling small in her standard-issue human ambassador uniform. The blue fabric itchy against her skin, Ambassador Collins, a stern woman with graying hair, approached with a datapad, her expression unreadable as always. "You understand the importance of this assignment, Kara Ambassador Collins," said her voice low. "We need this alliance with the Lyrians. Their technology could advance humanity by centuries." "Yes, Mom." Kara nodded, trying to appear more confident than she felt. "Remember the briefing?" Collins continued. "Their society is matriarchal. Males are considered beautiful but intellectually inferior. The princess has requested a human caretaker specifically because she finds our species fascinating." The massive doors at the end of the hall slid open with a musical chime revealing a tall, elegant figure that moved with impossible grace. Princess Zara of the Lyrian Dominion was not what Kara expected. The alien princess stood nearly 7 feet tall with iridescent blue skin that seemed to shimmer with its own inner light. Her forearms moved in perfect coordination as she approached, her large almond-shaped eyes the color of molten gold fixed directly on Kara. "So this is the human female." Zara spoke, her voice melodic, yet commanding, her universal translator giving her words a strange lilting quality. Ambassador Collins bowed deeply, Kara following her example. "Your Highness, this is Kara Walsh. She will serve as your personal caretaker during your stay on Earth." Zara circled Kara, examining her from all angles with unnerving intensity, her expression impossible to read on her alien features. "She is smaller than the males I have seen," Zara commented, reaching out with one of her lower arms to touch Kara's hair, the contact sending an electric tingle down Kara's spine. The princess suddenly smiled, revealing teeth that looked oddly like polished opals. "I approve," she declared. After the formal introductions, Kara was escorted to the princess' private chambers aboard the ship to begin her duties immediately. The room was filled with strange plants and floating orbs of light that changed color with the princess' mood. "Your duties will be simple enough," Zara explained as she settled onto a cushion that seemed to be made of living material that conformed to her body. "I wish to learn about humans, especially your males." Kara blinked, uncertain how to respond. "I will teach you whatever you wish to know, Your Highness." "Excellent." Zara clapped her upper hands together. "I have studied your species from afar, but direct observation is so much more informative, especially regarding mating habits and social hierarchies." The princess moved to a crystal panel on the wall and waved her hand over it, causing a holographic display to appear showing images of Earth, cities, and people going about their daily lives. "Your planet fascinates me," Zara said as she expanded an image of a human couple holding hands. "The concept of pair bonding between equals is unusual among spacefaring species. Most follow either patriarchal or matriarchal systems." Kara watched as the princess flipped through more images, stopping on one showing a muscular man on a beach. "Your males display such variety," she commented. "They are much more physically diverse than Lyrian males who tend toward uniformity. A useful evolutionary trait, perhaps." Zara turned back to Kara, her golden eyes intense. "I will be attending diplomatic functions and need you to help me understand human social cues, especially those between males and females." Kara nodded, feeling slightly overwhelmed by the responsibility. "Of course, Your Highness." For the next few days, Kara barely had time to sleep as she prepared for the princess' first official Earth visit. The human delegation had arranged a welcome ceremony at the newly constructed Galactic Embassy in Geneva. Zara insisted on studying human fashion before selecting her attire for the event, spending hours examining everything from ancient Egyptian garments to modern runway shows. The day of the ceremony arrived, and Kara waited nervously outside the princess chambers, not knowing what to expect when the door finally slid open. Princess Zara emerged wearing a stunning adaptation of a human evening gown, modified for her forearms and taller frame. The fabric seemed to flow like liquid metal, changing colors subtly with her movements. The human ambassadors were visibly impressed when they arrived at the embassy. Zara's appearance, striking the perfect balance between alien regality and respect. For human customs, Ambassador Collins nodded approvingly at Kara. "You have done well," she whispered as they watched Zara greet the Secretary General. The reception that followed was Kara's first real test as cultural interpreter. She stayed close to the princess, ready to explain any confusing human behaviors or customs. Zara proved to be remarkably observant, noticing subtle interactions between guests that even Kara might have missed. The princess was particularly interested in the human security personnel stationed around the room. "That male by the eastern entrance," Zara whispered to Kara. "He watches the female ambassador from Brazil with particular attention." "What does this signify?" Kara glanced over, noticing how the security guard kept glancing at the ambassador. "They might be romantically involved," she explained, "or perhaps he is simply assigned to her protection." "Fascinating," Zara murmured. "The intermingling of professional and personal relationships. How do humans maintain order with such complexity?" Before Kara could answer, a tall man with diplomatic credentials approached them. His name tag identified him as Nathan Reed from the North American Coalition. "Princess Zara." He bowed respectfully. "May I say what an honor it is to meet you? Your arrival marks a historic moment in human history." Zara studied him with undisguised curiosity. "You speak well for a male," she said, causing Nathan to blink in surprise. Kara quickly intervened. "Your Highness, in human society, males and females are considered intellectual equals." Zara tilted her head. "Is that so? How unusual." She turned back to Nathan. "Perhaps you would consent to an interview during my stay. I find myself interested in male perspectives." Nathan looked flattered. "Of course, Your Highness. It would be my honor." As the evening progressed, Kara noticed that Zara had requested the contact information of several human males, all of whom seemed quite taken with the exotic princess. By the end of the night, Kara felt exhaustion setting in, but Zara seemed energized by the experience. Back in the princess quarters, Zara began documenting everything she had observed, speaking notes into a floating orb that recorded her words. Human males respond positively to direct eye contact, she noted, seem eager to please when approached by a female of higher status. Potential biological response to Lyrian pheromones requires further study. Kara felt a twinge of concern as she listened. Was the princess simply conducting cultural research, or was there something more to her interest in human males? When Zara noticed Kara's expression, she paused her recording. "Do you disapprove of my methods?" "No, Your Highness," Kara said carefully. "I'm just wondering about the purpose of your research." Zara smiled enigmatically. "All knowledge serves a purpose, Kara Walsh, and I have much to learn about your species, especially your males." That night, as Kara finally retired to her small adjoining room, she couldn't help but wonder what she had gotten herself into. The princess. Fascination with human men seemed innocent enough, but something about it made Kara uneasy. What Kara didn't know was that Princess Zara had plans far beyond simple diplomatic relations, plans that would soon draw both of them into a complex web of interspecies politics, genetic science, and perhaps even romance. The weeks that followed were strange beyond anything Kara could have imagined. Princess Zara was intensely curious about human culture, particularly about how human women interacted with men. The princess found the concept of human romance completely fascinating. Kara became Zara's guide to humanity, accompanying her to diplomatic functions where the princess observed human interactions with scientific curiosity and occasionally alarming directness. One evening at a diplomatic gala, Zara cornered a handsome security officer named Peter, asking him detailed questions about human reproduction that left the poor man blushing furiously. Kara had to intervene. "Your Highness, perhaps these questions are best saved for private research sessions," Kara suggested, gently steering the princess away from the mortified officer. The princess looked confused. "Is he not a male? Why does he show embarrassment at natural biological functions?" "Because humans have different social norms about discussing these topics in public," Kara explained. Fascinating. Zara tapped her chin with one of her upper hands. such unnecessary complications as time passed. Kara realized that Princess Zara was collecting human males specimens, as she called them. Each day, another handsome man would be invited to the Lyrian diplomatic quarters for interviews. These men, all military or diplomatic personnel, would leave looking dazed and confused, but strangely happy. Kara began to worry what exactly was happening during these private meetings. When she caught sight of Zara's private journal with detailed anatomical sketches of human males, Kara became truly concerned. Your Highness, Kara finally gathered the courage to ask, "What exactly are you doing with these men?" Zara looked up from her floating data screen research. "Of course," she said, as if it were obvious. "On my world, males are kept in harems for breeding and entertainment. I am determining if human males would make suitable additions to the royal collection." Kara felt her blood run cold. "You cannot be serious." The princess blinked her golden eyes. "The males enjoy our sessions greatly. I simply measure their responses to various stimuli." She gestured to a wall that suddenly became transparent, revealing a laboratory. Beyond, where several containers held what appeared to be DNA samples, Kara gasped. "This violates so many human laws and ethical guidelines." Zara looked genuinely puzzled. They all consented. She said, "We merely talked. I collected some genetic material through non-invasive means for analysis Lyrians never take without permission." Kara, "But they don't know what they're consenting to." Kara argued, "They don't understand what you intend." The princess rose to her full impressive height, all four arms crossed. "This is why I requested a female caretaker. Males are too easily influenced by Lyrian pheromones, but females, especially strong-willed ones like you, remain." Clear-headed Kara suddenly realized why she had been chosen. Her genetic profile must have shown particular resistance to alien influence. Nathan Reed, the diplomat from the reception, became a regular visitor to the Lyrian quarters. His initial interviews with Princess Zara had apparently evolved into something more complex. Kara noticed how his eyes followed the princess, how he leaned toward her when she spoke. She also noticed that Zara seemed to treat him differently than the other men, giving him more attention and asking him more personal questions. One afternoon, Kara entered. The princess studied to find Nathan and Zara standing very close together. The princess, all four hands touching different parts of his face and neck. Kara cleared her throat loudly, causing them to step apart. Nathan looking slightly disoriented. "Forgive the interruption, Your Highness," Kara said stiffly, "but the Security Council is waiting for your appearance." Nathan excused himself, hurriedly brushing past Kara without meeting her eyes. Kara turned to Zara with barely contained anger. "What are you doing?" To him, Zara seemed genuinely surprised by Kara's reaction. "Nothing harmful, I assure you. I was merely measuring his physiological responses to Lyrian touch. Human nerve pathways are fascinating." He looked drugged. Kara said he didn't look like he could consent to whatever you were doing. Zara waved a dismissive hand. "Our pheromones have a mild euphoric effect on human males, but it causes no lasting harm. In fact, most find it quite pleasant. That doesn't make it right." Kara insisted. "These men don't understand what they're experiencing." The princess studied Kara with new interest. "You are concerned for this specific male. Why does he belong to you?" "No." Kara felt her face flush. "He doesn't belong to anyone. That's not how humans work. People aren't property." Zara tilted her head. "Perhaps I have misunderstood human pair bonding. You show signs of territorial behavior regarding this male." "Am not territorial," Kara protested. "Am concerned about ethics and consent." Zara moved closer to Kara. "You humans are fascinatingly complex. You claim to value individual choice, yet react emotionally when those choices don't align with your expectations." Before Kara could respond, Ambassador Collins called, summoning them both to an emergency meeting. The Galactic Council representatives had arrived early and requested an immediate audience with Princess Zara. The mood in the conference room was tense when Kara and Zara arrived. 3 alien delegates from different species sat across from the human diplomats, their expressions unreadable. To Kara, though, Zara stiffened when she saw them. High Princess Zara, the tallest delegate, spoke in a resonant voice that seemed to bypass the translator and speak directly to the mind. Your research activities have come to the attention of the Council. Zara straightened her posture defiant. My work falls within the parameters of our agreement. The delegate continued. Your collection of genetic material from primitive species without Council approval violates the non-interference protocols. Humans are not primitive, Zara countered. They are Category 3 spacefaring potentials with unique genetic structures. Ambassador Collins looked between the aliens, confused. What exactly is happening here? The delegate turned to the humans. Princess Zara has been collecting human genetic material for unauthorized hybridization experiments, a serious violation of galactic law. Collins turned to Zara with shock. Is this true? Zara remained silent, her golden eyes fixed on the delegates. Kara felt a surge of betrayal. Had everything been a lie? Had Zara simply been using humans as lab rats for some alien breeding program? Wait, Nathan Reed stepped forward from where he had been standing with other human diplomats. As one of the subjects of Princess Zara's research, I can confirm that all participation was voluntary. The delegates murmured among themselves, seeming unconvinced. Nathan continued. We were informed of the general nature of the research and consented to provide genetic samples. The princess has been respectful and transparent. Kara stared at Nathan. Was he defending Zara out of genuine belief? Or was he still under the influence of alien pheromones? The leading delegate raised a hand for silence. Regardless of consent, the research violates Treaty Code 7.3. No genetic material may be exchanged between species without Council oversight. Ambassador Collins frowned. That treaty provision was never shared with the human delegation. The delegate blinked slowly. It is not customary to share all galactic laws with species still under probationary status. This caused an uproar among the human diplomats. Probationary status? What are you talking about? Kara watched as the carefully constructed diplomatic relationship began to unravel. Accusations flew from both sides, with Princess Zara caught in the middle. Finally, Zara raised all four of her arms, commanding silence. I propose a compromise, she said. My research will be submitted for full Council review, and I will share all findings with the human delegation. The delegates conferred among themselves before the leader spoke again. Acceptable. But you will return to Lyria immediately for formal review. No, Zara said firmly. I will remain on Earth until the diplomatic mission is complete. As agreed, the review can be conducted remotely. After tense negotiations, a compromise was reached. Zara could stay, but her laboratory would be sealed. Pending investigation, as they left the conference room, Kara confronted Zara. Were you ever going to tell me the truth about your research? Zara looked at her with those golden eyes, suddenly tired and vulnerable. Truth is complicated, Kara Walsh. What I told you was true from a certain perspective. What perspective is that? Kara demanded. The one where you use humans as breeding stock. Zara flinched at the accusation. That was never my intention, she said softly. Come to my quarters tonight, and I will show you the full truth of my work. I promise. That evening, with growing apprehension, Kara made her way to the princess chambers, wondering what revelations awaited her. When Kara entered the princess chambers that evening, she found Zara standing before a large holographic display that filled the center of the room. The image showed what appeared to be a planet with sprawling crystal cities similar to the architecture of the Lyrian ship. My homeworld, Zara said without turning around. It was once home to billions of Lyrians. Now fewer than 200 million remain. Kara approached, slowly, uncertain what to make of this. The display zoomed in, showing empty structures, abandoned districts, silent streets. What happened? Kara asked, her anger temporarily forgotten. Genetic collapse. Zara waved a hand, and the display changed to show complex DNA strands, rotating slowly. For 10,000 years, we bred for specific traits. Intelligence in females, beauty in males. We created a perfect society, or so we thought. The princess turned to face Kara. Her golden eyes dimmed with sadness. But perfection carries a price. Genetic diversity decreased with each generation, until Display changed again, showing birth statistics, population projections all trending downward, until your people began dying out. Kara finished, Zara nodded. Our males have become increasingly infertile. Our females struggle to carry pregnancies to term. Without intervention, the Lyrian species will be extinct within 5 generations. Kara felt her perspective shifting. This wasn't just scientific curiosity or exploitation. This was survival. Why humans? Kara asked why not another advanced species. Zara gestured and a new image appeared showing human and Lyrian DNA side by side. Despite your primitive technology, your species has something rare among the spacefaring races. Extraordinary genetic diversity and adaptability. Your DNA contains compatibility, markers unseen in other species. You want to use human DNA to save your species. Kara said slowly. Not just save, Zara corrected. Evolve. My research indicates that controlled genetic exchange could benefit both our species. Imagine humans with extended lifespans and resistance to disease. Lyrians with your adaptability and emotional range. Kara paced the room, processing this revelation. Why keep this secret? Why not just ask for help? Zara laughed bitterly, a harsh sound from her usually melodic voice. You think the Galactic Council would permit it? They fear change. Above all, they fear a new power rising that might challenge their authority. A human-Lyrian alliance with shared genetics would terrify them. And the human men, you were testing, Kara pressed. Were they just convenient genetic samples? Zara had the grace to look uncomfortable. Not entirely. I admit, I find human males fascinating. Their combination of physical strength and emotional sensitivity is unknown among Lyrian males. And yes, our pheromones affect them, but no more than your human alcohol affects your mind temporarily, and without lasting damage. Kara wasn't entirely convinced. But collecting DNA without full disclosure, I had to know if compatibility was possible before risking a diplomatic incident, Zara said. Now that initial tests confirm it is, I plan to make a formal proposal to your leaders. A knock at the door interrupted them. Nathan Reed entered looking serious. Ambassador Collins has called an emergency meeting, he said. The Galactic Council representatives are threatening to revoke Earth's provisional member status unless Princess Zara returns to Lyria immediately. Zara hissed a sound like steam escaping a valve. They fear what my research might reveal. Nathan looked between Kara and Zara. What research exactly? Everyone is talking, but no one is explaining, Kara. And Zara exchanged a look, uncertain how much to reveal. Later that night, after a tense meeting where nothing was resolved, Kara found Nathan waiting outside her quarters. I need to know what's really happening, Kara, he said. His eyes were clear, focused, not the dreamy look he had when under the influence of Lyrian pheromones. Kara hesitated. Princess Zara should be the one to explain. Nathan shook his head. I've seen how the other men react around her. But you, Kara, you stay clear-headed, you see things as they are not, as she wants you to see them. Something in his earnest expression made Kara decide to trust him. She told him everything about the Lyrian genetic crisis, the potential compatibility between their species and the Galactic Council's apparent fear of such an alliance. Nathan listened without interrupting. When she finished, he was silent for a long moment. You believe her? He finally asked. I think so, Kara said, surprised to realize it was true. Despite her methods, I think her intentions are genuine. Nathan nodded thoughtfully. Then we need to help her. The Council's position is suspicious. If human and Lyrian DNA is compatible, that information should be shared, not suppressed. The next morning, Kara was summoned to Ambassador Collins' office. The ambassador was not alone. A severe-looking woman with a military bearing stood beside her. This is Director Holt from Global Security, Collins said. Her department has concerns about Princess Zara's activities. Director Holt fixed Kara with an intense stare. Tell me everything you know about the princess genetic research. Kara felt caught between loyalties, uncertain what to reveal. Remember your duty to humanity, Ambassador Collins added, seeing her hesitation. Zara believes human and Lyrian DNA might be compatible, Kara finally said. She thinks genetic exchange could benefit both species. Director Holt slammed her hand on the Desk benefit humans being bred like livestock to save a dying alien race. No, Kara protested, that's not what she controlled scientific exchange. Zara stood in the doorway, her tall form filling the space. How long have you been eavesdropping, Collins? Demanded. Long enough to know you misunderstand my intentions, Zara replied, stepping into the room. My people face extinction. I seek a mutual beneficial alliance, not exploitation, Director. Holt scoffed. An alliance that conveniently requires human genetic material. I have shared all my preliminary findings with your scientists, Zara countered. The potential benefits to humans are tremendous. Extended lifespan, resistance to radiation diseases that currently plague your species. That decision isn't yours to make, Holt said. It's for humanity to decide, not a single alien princess. Precisely, Zara agreed with unexpected humility, which is why I propose a joint research initiative overseen by both human and Lyrian scientists, with full transparency and ethical oversight. The room fell silent as everyone considered this. Ambassador Collins spoke first. The Galactic Council would never approve. Then perhaps, Zara said carefully, we should proceed without their knowledge, at least until we have results compelling enough to force their acceptance. Director Holt narrowed her eyes. Are you proposing we violate galactic law, Zara? Tilted her head. In proposing we prioritize the survival of both our species over political considerations. Yes, the conversation was interrupted by an urgent message. A Lyrian warship had entered Earth orbit, demanding Princess Zara's immediate surrender for violations of galactic treaty. Things moved quickly after that security personnel arrived to escort Zara to a secure facility. While being led away, the princess locked eyes with Kara. Find Nathan, she said softly. He has everything you need, before Kara could ask what she meant. Zara was gone. That evening, Kara searched for Nathan throughout the embassy complex, finally finding him in a secluded garden area. The princess said you have something? Kara said without preamble. Nathan nodded, glancing around to ensure they were alone. Zara gave me this. He pulled a small crystal from his pocket. It contains her complete research, encrypted. The key is a genetic signature only you can provide. Kara took the crystal, feeling its subtle warmth. Why me? Nathan smiled. Because you're immune to Lyrian influence. Your unique genetic profile makes you the perfect guardian for this information. Zara trusts you, Kara. Even knowing you might choose humanity over her research. Kara stared at the small crystal in her palm. The weight of two species' futures suddenly feeling very heavy. We don't have much time, Nathan continued. The Lyrians will take her back to their homeworld for trial. The council will demand all research be destroyed, and our own government is divided on how to proceed. What can we do? Kara asked. Nathan leaned closer. We can complete what she started, he said. A small team of trusted scientists, human, and the few Lyrian researchers still loyal to Zara. We can prove her theory before politics destroys the chance for both our species. Kara hesitated. This could be considered treason or the most important scientific breakthrough in human history, Nathan countered. Either way, we need to decide now. Later that night, as Kara lay awake considering her options, a soft chime indicated an incoming message on her personal device. It was from Zara, somehow transmitted despite her detention. The Sore message was simple. I showed you my world dying, now save yours. The attached file showed projections of human genetic degradation over the next 1,000 years. A slower process than the Lyrians had experienced, but the same inevitable conclusion. Kara made her decision. She would help complete Zara's research, but on human terms, with full ethical oversight and transparency. Whatever happened next would shape the future of two species. 3 weeks after Princess Zara's forced departure, Kara found herself in an underground laboratory beneath the North American Coalition Science Division. The facility had been officially decommissioned years ago, making it the perfect location for their unauthorized research. Nathan had assembled a small team of trusted scientists, including 2 Lyrian researchers who had remained on Earth claiming diplomatic asylum. Their names were Vela and Kor, both females with the same shimmering blue skin as Zara, though lacking her royal height. Today marked a significant milestone in their work. The crystal Zara had given Nathan contained not just research notes, but also complete genetic mapping of compatible human and Lyrian DNA sequences. Dr. Lily Chen, the team's leading geneticist, looked up from her workstation with barely contained excitement. "The simulations confirm it," she announced. "The genetic compatibility is real, and the potential benefits are even greater than Princess Zara suggested." Nathan leaned over her shoulder, studying the complex models on the screen. "Explain it in simple terms." Lily pointed to various highlighted sequences. "The Lyrian genetic structure contains elements that could extend human lifespan by decades, possibly centuries. Their cellular regeneration capability alone could eliminate most cancers and degenerative diseases. Meanwhile, human genetic diversity would solve the Lyrian fertility crisis within 2 generations. Kara felt a mix of hope and apprehension. "It sounds too good to be true." Vela, the senior Lyrian scientist, approached her, face solemn. "Not too good, Kara Walsh, but rare. The universe does not often offer such mutual benefit without cost. And what is the cost?" Kara asked. Vela gestured to another screen showing a complex political map of known galactic territories. "The Council fears balance of power shifts. A human-Lyrian alliance with shared genetic advantages would create a new power center. They prefer humanity, remain isolated, dependent on Council technology, and guidance politics." Nathan scoffed. "We're talking about saving lives, Core." The younger Lyrian clicked her tongue, a sound like small bells. "Our politics not about lives. At scale." Their discussion was interrupted by a security alert. Someone was accessing the outer door using authorized credentials. "Everyone freeze," Nathan whispered, motioning for the Lyrians to hide in the adjacent storage room. The door slid open, revealing Director Holt, her expression grim. "Did you really think a secret project of this magnitude would escape notice?" Kara stepped forward, accepting responsibility. "We had to continue the research." "The potential benefits, I know," Holt interrupted, surprising everyone. "I've read your progress reports." Nathan blinked. "You knew?" Holt allowed herself a small smile. "Officially, this facility doesn't exist, this research isn't happening, and I certainly don't know about it. But unofficially," she pulled out a data drive. "I've brought you something." The drive contained classified information about the Galactic Council's internal deliberations. Their fears went beyond simple power politics. Genetic records showed that several Council species had attempted similar hybridization in the past, always with catastrophic results. Holt pointed to specific sections. "They believe human Lyrian compatibility is impossible, that Princess Zara's research is flawed. They fear you'll create monsters or unleash a plague. But our simulations show otherwise." Lily protested. "Which is why I haven't shut you down," Holt replied. "But you need to understand the stakes. If you're wrong, if there are unforeseen consequences." Vela stepped forward from her hiding place. "We understand the risks, Director Human. We have seen worlds destroyed by biological hubris, but we have also seen civilizations die from excessive caution." Holt studied the Lyrian scientist for a long moment. "What do you need to prove your theory beyond doubt?" "A clinical trial," Lily said. "Human and Lyrian genetic material combined in controlled conditions." Holt nodded. "Consider it approved, but with conditions, full containment protocols, constant monitoring, and a kill switch. I need deniability." As Director Holt turned to leave, she paused, looking back at Kara. "Princess Zara goes on trial tomorrow. The Lyrian Dominion has refused all diplomatic requests to observe. The official position of Earth governments is non-interference." Kara understood the unspoken message. No official help would come for Zara. That night, Kara reviewed everything they had learned. The Lyrian genetics were complex but beautiful in their elegant design. Like living crystal, she thought their compatibility with human DNA wasn't random. It suggested a shared ancestral origin, impossible given the vast distances between Earth and Lyria, unless Kara suddenly realized neither species evolved naturally. She called the team together, presenting her theory. "The evidence suggests both humans and Lyrians were genetically engineered by some ancient precursor race," Lily said after reviewing Kara's findings. "The The similarities are too precise for convergent evolution. Nathan looked troubled. This would contradict everything we know about human evolution. Not contradict, Vela corrected. Complete. There are gaps in both our species. Evolutionary records. Perhaps they were interventions, subtle guidance. If true, Kara said, it means the Galactic Council might know who our creators were, why they created us, and why they would fear our reunion. Core added. The clinical trial proceeded with agonizing caution. The first successful combination of human and Lyrian genetic material produced cells that were stronger, more adaptable, and longer-lived than either parent line. The team worked day and night, documenting every result, preparing the case. They would eventually need to present to both human authorities and the Galactic Council. Meanwhile, Kara couldn't stop thinking about Zara facing trial alone. Perhaps already condemned, her caretaker role might have ended officially. But she felt responsible, for the princess news from Lyria was strictly controlled. But rumors suggested the trial was merely a formality. Zara would be found guilty of violating galactic protocols and placed in suspended animation, a living death for a species that valued consciousness above all. Kara found Nathan working late one night. "Have you seen this?" she asked, showing him a message she'd received from an anonymous source. It contained security codes for a small diplomatic vessel and coordinates in the Lyrian system. "It's a trap," Nathan said immediately. "Too convenient," maybe, Kara acknowledged. Or maybe Zara still has allies who can't act openly. Either way, it's suicide. Nathan argued, "We need to focus on the research proving she was right, is the best way to help." Kara shook her head. "The trial ends tomorrow. Once sentenced, Zara will be untouchable. We need her knowledge, her authority as a princess to present our findings." They argued late into the night. Finally, Nathan sighed heavily. "Fine, but you're not going alone." The small diplomatic vessel was cramped, barely large enough for 2 humans and the minimal life support they needed for the journey. The Lyrian system was 3 days' travel through something called fold space, a technology Earth scientists barely understood. Nathan piloted while Kara studied everything they knew about Lyrian law and customs, searching for any precedent that might help Zara on. The second day, they received an encrypted transmission from Dr. Chen. The clinical trials' final results had exceeded all expectations. The combined genetic material had developed into viable tissue, showing none of the instabilities the Council had feared. This could save her, Nathan said. These results prove she was right. As they approached, Lyrian space, an imposing warship appeared on their sensors, identifying itself as Lyrian Royal Guard. "Prepare to be boarded," a cold voice announced. "Your unauthorized vessel has violated sovereign space." Kara and Nathan exchanged alarmed looks as their small ship was drawn into a massive docking bay. Armed guards with forearms and ceremonial armor surrounded them as they disembarked. "We come as diplomatic representatives," Kara began, but was cut off. "You will be silent," the guard captain ordered. "Princess Zara awaits." They were escorted through crystalline corridors that seemed to sing with subtle vibrations. Eventually, they reached what appeared to be a throne room. The design was organic, with living crystal formations growing from floor to ceiling. The center sat Zara, but not as Kara remembered her. The princess was adorned in formal regalia, her blue skin enhanced with luminescent patterns, her forearms bearing ceremonial markings. She looked both regal and dangerous. "You should not have come," she said, her voice echoing strangely. Kara stepped forward despite the guards. "Your trial." "We came to present evidence in your defense." Zara made a gesture that caused the guards to step back. "There is no trial," she said. "There never was." "I don't understand," Kara said, looking between Zara and the impassive guards. Zara stood, moving with that impossible grace. "The transmission you received. The rumors of my trial. They were necessary deceptions." Nathan tensed beside Kara. "What kind of deception?" Zara descended, from her elevated position, approaching them. "My mother, the Queen, died 3 days after I was taken from Earth. I am now sovereign of the Lyrian Dominion. And you," she fixed her golden eyes on Kara, "have brought me exactly what I need." Kara felt a chill, Run through her. The research Zara smiled, that opal-toothed smile that once seemed exotic but now felt predatory. Yes. The final piece in a very long game. Nathan moved protectively closer to Kara. What game? Zara circled them slowly. You didn't really think the mighty Lyrian dominion would depend on primitive humans for salvation, did you? We who have conquered 12 star systems. The floor beneath them suddenly became transparent, revealing a vast chamber below filled with stasis pods. Each contained what appeared to be a hybrid being part human, part Lyrian. What have you done? Kara whispered. I have ensured the survival of my species, Zara said, gesturing to the hybrid beings below. What you see is the 12th generation of human-Lyrian hybridization. The process began nearly 50 Earth years ago. Kara struggled to understand the genetic crisis you showed me. Your dying world, elements of truth wrapped in necessary deception, Zara said. The crisis is real, but far more advanced than I revealed. Our males have been completely infertile for 3 generations. Then how Nathan began looking at the hybrids below. Selective harvesting, Zara explained, from various primitive worlds including Earth. Small numbers, nothing that would attract attention. A genetic sample here, a disappeared human there. The hybrids look stable. Kara noted, fighting to keep her voice steady despite her horror at what Zara was describing. They are stable physically. Zara agreed, walking to a control panel, but mentally unstable. Aggressive, difficult to control. They lack something essential. The completed research. Nathan realized, you needed our teams. Final results. Zara smiled. The missing piece. Your scientists succeeded where ours failed. You found the proper balance between human adaptability and Lyrian structure. The princess tapped commands into the panel, causing one of the stasis pods to rise into the throne room. Its occupant was female with pale blue skin. Only 2 arms, but the distinctive golden eyes of a Lyrian. The hybrid appeared to be in peaceful sleep. The first of a new generation, Zara said, with something like maternal pride. Enhanced with the corrections your team discovered. Kara felt sick. All along you were using us, Zara tilted her head. You speak as though I deceived you. I told you I sought to save my species. I told you I needed human genetic material. I simply withheld certain details. Those details make all the difference, Nathan snapped. You kidnapped humans. Experimented on them, Zara waved a dismissive hand. Desperate times require distasteful measures, but thanks to your work, the new hybridization process is non-invasive, requiring only genetic samples freely given, like those your team already collected. So what now? Kara asked. Are you planning to invade Earth, harvest more humans? Zara looked genuinely surprised. Why would we need to invade? Your governments will offer their population's genetic material willingly. Nathan scoffed. You're delusional. Mi Zara touched another control, displaying a recorded meeting between human officials, including Director Holt and Ambassador Collins. They were discussing the potential benefits of human-Lyrian genetic exchange. The advantages are too significant to ignore, Collins was saying. Extended lifespan, disease resistance, enhanced cognitive function. The public would demand access, and in exchange, Director Holt asked, Lyrian technology. Faster than light travel, advanced medicine, energy production beyond anything we currently possess. Collins replied, think of it. Humanity leaping forward centuries in development. Zara froze. The image. You see, your leaders already understand the exchange value. They simply needed proof it would work safely. Your research provides that proof. Kara felt dizzy. The implications were staggering. This wasn't invasion, but something more insidious. A slow transformation of humanity through genetic temptation. What happens to humans who receive Lyrian genetics? Kara asked. Do they remain human? Zara seemed pleased by the question. Gradually, over generations, they become something new. Neither human nor Lyrian, but a third species. Stronger. Longer lived. More advanced. A natural evolution. Nathan wasn't convinced, and the Galactic Council. They just allow this, Zara laughed. The Council fears this outcome above all else. The emergence of a new advanced species outside their control, but they are bound by their own laws. Once we demonstrate stable hybridization, they cannot interfere with voluntary genetic exchange. And if Earth refuses, Kara asked. Zara studied her for a moment. Refuse immortality. Advanced technology, freedom from disease. Why would they? Because the cost might be too high. Nathan said. Loss of humanity itself. Zara shook her head. Humanity isn't lost. It evolves. It merges with something greater. The choice remains with each individual human. Kara wasn't convinced. It doesn't sound like much of a choice. Offer someone a 1,000-year lifespan in exchange for genetic alteration. Who would refuse? The guard captain approached, whispering something to Zara. The princess nodded, then turned back to her guests. The Galactic Council representatives have arrived earlier than expected. We must proceed quickly. Proceed with what Kara asked. The formal proposal, Zara said. Your presence is fortunate. You will serve as witnesses to the agreement between Earth and Lyria. Guards escorted them to a grand council chamber, where delegates from various species had assembled, including a human contingent led by Ambassador Collins. The atmosphere was tense with unspoken conflict. Zara entered last, her royal regalia glittering under the crystal lights. She took her place at the head of the assembly. Today marks a historic moment, she began. The Lyrian Dominion formally proposes a genetic and technological exchange with Earth. For too long, the Council has restricted the advancement of younger species, claiming protection while ensuring dependence. The alien delegates shifted uncomfortably as Zara continued. We offer humanity a choice. Genetic enhancement, bringing extended life, disease resistance, and enhanced capabilities. In exchange, we seek genetic diversity to ensure our own survival. Along with this exchange, we will share technological advancements currently restricted by Council policy. One delegate, a tall insectoid being, rose in protest. This violates multiple treaties, Your Highness. The controlled advancement of primitive species. Do not speak of control. Zara cut him off sharply. When you mean suppression. Earth has achieved spaceflight independently, qualifying them for full exchange rights under Article 7 of the Founding Charter. Ambassador Collins stepped forward. We have reviewed the Lyrian proposal and find it acceptable in principle, pending final approval from Earth governments. The Council delegates erupted in objections and warnings. The insectoid being turned to Collins directly. You do not understand what you risk. Human genetic hybridization has caused catastrophic results in the past. Show them. Zara commanded. A side door opened, and the hybrid female they had seen earlier entered the chamber, walking with grace and obvious intelligence. She bowed to the assembly. This is Lyra. She represents the future of both our species, Zara announced. The result of careful genetic science overseen by Earth researchers. Kara watched the reactions around the room. The council delegates showed fear. The human representatives, Nathan beside her, remained skeptical, his hand finding hers and squeezing gently. A voice spoke in Kara's mind, suddenly clear as crystal, though no one had spoken aloud. Do not trust what you see, Kara Walsh. Kara turned, finding Lyra the hybrid staring directly at her. Those golden eyes seemed to see through her. They create us, but they do not control us. The voice continued in her mind. We are neither human nor Lyrian, but something new. Something neither creator fully understands. Kara fought to keep her expression neutral as the voice continued. You must ensure humanity enters this exchange with full knowledge, full consent. The Lyrians will not reveal everything. I cannot say more now, but find me later. The mental contact broke as suddenly as it had begun, leaving Kara shaken. The council meeting continued with heated debate, but the outcome seemed predetermined. Earth representatives, dazzled by the potential benefits, were eager to proceed, despite council warnings. When the formal session ended, Kara pulled Nathan aside. We need to find Lyra, that hybrid. She spoke to me mentally. Nathan looked alarmed. What did she say? That the hybrids aren't fully under Lyrian control. That there's more happening than we're being told. They managed to slip away from the diplomatic group following a distant glimpse of Lyra through the crystalline corridors. Eventually, they found her in what appeared to be a garden of crystal plants. "I wondered if you would seek me out," Lyra said aloud this time. "Tell us what you couldn't say before," Kara urged. Lyra touched a crystal formation, causing it to glow and hum. "The Lyrians believe they create a new servant, species more capable than humans, more controllable than pure Lyrians." "But we are neither. What are you then?" Nathan asked. Lyra smiled, an expression both human and alien. "Something unexpected. The genetic merger awakens dormant abilities. Telepathy enhanced, perception connection to realities beyond this one. Abilities the ancient precursors designed then suppressed in both parent species. The precursors." Kara gasped. "You know about them. We remember them," Lyra corrected. "Not my memories, but cellular memory, activated by the genetic merger. They created both humans and Lyrians long ago as experiments, then abandoned their work." "Why?" Nathan asked. Lyra shrugged, a surprisingly human gesture. Perhaps they feared what they created. Perhaps they simply moved on to other experiments. "The important truth is this: the merger Zara proposes will not create servants but equals. Perhaps more than equals." Kara considered this. "You said we need to ensure humanity has full knowledge." "What did you mean?" "Zara hides the full scope of the changes," Lyra explained. "Not just physical enhancements, but mental transformation. Humans who receive Lyrian genetics will develop new abilities, new perceptions. They will no longer be fully human. Their children even less so." "Is that wrong?" Nathan asked. "Or simply evolution?" "Neither, and both." Lyra said the path has benefits and costs. Humanity will gain much, but also lose much. The choice should be made with full understanding. A plan began forming in Kara's mind. If we exposed the complete truth, brought all this to light,